and welcome to Book 4, Chapter 13 of You Should Be Reading. This week, this week, I would like to talk to you about Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Now, this is a book that the cover immediately grabbed me because it has an actual photograph instead of something else of this girl that's levitating. There, wearing a tiara and a dress. It looks kind of like back in the old black and white, back in the 20s and 30s, that sort of thing. And that caught my eye. And I picked it up and I paged through it, and there's other photographs in here. And from what I understand, every single photograph in here are actual photographs from actual vintage photographs from back in the day. They're all real photographs that have been taken. Uh, some of them have been slightly uh, digitally altered, I believe, but most of them have not been. And there's some interesting things. The author is actually a collector and has been collecting vintage photographs. So he started doing this particular book based off those photographs and came up with this whole idea. The book itself is about a young man who his grandfather used to tell him stories and show him old photographs of this orphan's home he used to live in because he was orphaned during the war, uh, back during the Second World War. And as the kid grew up, he kind of was teased about it and got angry and distanced himself from his grandfather. And then his grandfather ends up dying quite suddenly. He goes to therapy for it because he thought he saw one of the monsters that his grandfather always told him about. And in order to kind of work himself through this, uh, he decides to pay a visit to the Home for Peculiar Children. He finds where it is and goes there. And he ends up finding that all the stuff that his grandfather told him was actually true. And all these children had weird, peculiar powers, and so does he. He's the same as his grandfather. He can see monsters. He's the only one that can see the monsters. Um, and it ends up being that the Home for Peculiar Children is stuck in a time loop where the same day keeps repeating and repeating, and the day that the house got exploded by a bomb. So he's there going back to that day in time, and there's all kinds of stuff that happens. I'm not going to spoil the ending or anything like that because it's a really good book. Um, it has a lot of stuff that is connected, a lot of stuff that is very much present day, and then a lot of stuff that's rooted in the past, a lot of magic and stuff. And things are very, very interesting and amusing. I quite enjoy everything about this book. It was a very easy read, a very simple read. They're coming out with a movie apparently about it, starring Eva Green. I believe Tim Burton is directing it, so that's right up the alley for this. Uh, and yeah, it's really good. Mr. Ransom Riggs is the one that wrote it, and kudos to you, Mr. Riggs, because this is a fantastic book. I loved every minute of it. It's amazing and strange and interesting, and some of the children are both children, but also they've been around for so long, living in that stop day where they don't age. They've been around for so long that they've got so much experience under the belt, so they're wiser than their years and creepier at the same time. There's some of the children that I was looking at going, you seem like you're going to be a bit evil. Um, so yeah, it's amazing, simply amazing. I love everything about it. There's all kinds of pictures smattered throughout the book, like real pictures, and it's very creepy. Um, he does a wonderful job of using the pictures as well to help enhance the story, and I like that a lot. Um, so yeah, if you guys haven't read this, I would check it out. There's a sequel to it, A Hollow City. I'm going to be picking it up and reading it because I enjoyed the first one so much. Um, and it's definitely quite a, I mean, just look at the cover alone. It's got, it's mostly a picture, and then, because you can see the details down below, and then they just put this over top of it, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, written in chalk. very old school Victorian age. Well, maybe not even Victorian age, but very, very old school. Uh, it's quite good, quite good. And it deals with some family matters, as well as the main character thinking he may be insane. Um, so people are like treating him differently, that sort of thing. It's fascinating. I quite enjoyed it. And the with the way this sets up for future books, there's a good chance of an epic here. And I do like myself some epic storytelling. I love long form storytelling, a story that takes multiple books in order to tell. And this is setting up to be a lovely one of those. So yes, I highly recommend Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children if you haven't checked it out by now. So, as always, my friends, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. Usually try to put at least one video out a week, if not more, and throw a comment in the comment section. Have you read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? What did you think about it? Do you know of any other books in a similar vein to this one that you think I might be interested in reading? Throw that comment in the comment section. Let me know. I'd love to get a discussion going, check things out, love to talk to people. Mm. So yes, do all that, and until next time, my friends, remember, you should be reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Rakes, and I'll see you next time.